Hi, I'm Comfort, and I'm here to share my thoughts with you on the UN Sustainable Development Goals, which was hinged on the success of the Millennium Development Goals in 2015. Whereas the MDG focused on the developing countries, the SDGs considered the universal development for both the developed and developing countries. It established 17 goals around which the world should rally to ensure universal development. Today, I'll focus on Goal 4, quality education, and explore how Nigeria has fared in achieving the goals of providing quality education for its citizens and ultimately impact on the global development. To achieve the goal of quality education, the UN has set 6 targets, namely free primary and secondary education, equal access to quality pre-primary education, equal access to affordable technical, vocal, and higher education, increase the number of people with relevant skills for financial success, eliminate all discrimination in education, universal literacy, and numeracy. It is no secret that education plays a significant role in the socio-economic development of any nation. It also impacts of the health, well-being, and quality of life for the people. Education is inherently linked to the attainment of some of the other goals set out in the SDG. Education directly contributes to the attainment of the goals of poverty reduction, reducing inequality, good health and well-being, promoting peace and building strong institutions, decent work and economic growth, as well as zero hunger. Here are some interesting facts and figures relating to education globally. According to the UNDP, primary school enrollment in the developing countries has reached 91%. 57 million primary school age children remain out of school, with over half of these in sub-Saharan Africa. 60% of children and adolescents are not achieving a minimum level of proficiency in reading and math. In developing countries, 1 in 4 girls are not enrolled in school. 103 million youths lack both basic literacy skills, and more than 60% of these are women. 50% of all out-of-school children of primary school age live in conflict-affected areas. From the foregoing, it is evident that despite some achievement in the increased enrollment figures, vast inequality still exists in attaining quality education. For example, we have gender inequality, inequality between rich and poor, inequality occasioned by conflict. It may therefore be interesting to explore why this inequality exists in Nigeria. For example, Nigeria, with an estimated population of 206 million and a GDP of over 500 billion US dollars, is still beset with the early marriage, where underage girls are given out in marriage to older men in the vast northern part of the country. According to the report, 44% of girls in Nigeria are married off before their 18th birthday, and in northern Nigeria, this rises to 50%. In 2010, a Nigerian senator married a 13-year-old child, while in 2021, the Accountant General of the Federation, who is 60 years old, married a 16-year-old girl as his fourth wife. This unwholesome practice has been backed by weak legislative instruments, which has not been able to counter the religious justification for the practice. For example, 35 Nigerian senators, all from northern Nigeria, voted that any woman who is married is of age. As a result, these young girls are increasingly denied of formal education, and they end up with the wrong end of the stick of global development. Armed conflict has also further exacerbating the gender inequality. In 2021, more than 300 school girls, children, all girls were adopted from their school in Chibok in the northeast of Nigeria. Till date, a number of these girls are yet to be released to their families, less having the opportunity to continue with their education. Since that unfortunate incident, most school children have been adopted from their school, thus eroding the gains of the MDGs. A further consequence of this adoption is that parents are reluctant to send their children to school due to insecurity. Another element that will impact on the attainment of MDG Goal 4 in Nigeria relates to the budgetary allocation to education in Nigeria. UNESCO recommends countries to vote 15 to 20 of their annual budget to education. Nigeria has not only failed to meet this expectation, it has consistently budgeted less to education compared to other countries in Africa. Figures from the World Bank show that whereas Ethiopia voted as much as 24% of its 2018 budget to education, Nigeria in 2020 budgeted a meager 5.6% of its total budget to education. The figures of other countries are Ghana, 18.16%, Algeria, 16.5%, South Africa, 19.5%, and Togo, 21.8%. This abysmal budgetary allocation to education in Nigeria is also impacted by a high level of corruption and bad governance. As the world transitioned from 2019 to 2020, it was greeted with a global pandemic, COVID-19. This was also significantly impacted on schools globally, and Nigeria has not been spared. According to the UN, COVID-19 has wiped out 20 years of education gains, and their additional 101 million, representing 9% of children in grade 1 through 8, fell below minimum grading level in 2020. As of March 2020, 89% of the world's student population, representing 1.52 billion children and youth, with nearly half of these being girls, have stopped attending schools as a result of government-imposed lockdown to control the spread of the infection, whereas many schools in developed countries resulted to virtual learning. This was not the case in the number of developing countries, including Nigeria, with limited internet infrastructure to support virtual learning. This further deepens the inequality in education. In order to address the challenges that could derail Nigeria from achieving Goal 4 of the SDGs, there is need to put in place the following. The country needs to strengthen her legislative instrument towards addressing the issue regarding childhood marriage. Nigeria needs to increase the budgetary allocation to education to meet the minimum stipulated by UNESCO and plug the loopholes arising from official corruption. The relevant government and security agency needs to intensify the war against armed conflict in order to provide safe schools for children and youth, especially in the northeast and the northwest of the country. Government should ensure partnership to enhance critical internet infrastructure to ensure learning and other educational endeavor during the global COVID-19 pandemic. As the world trots towards 2030, which is the set timeline for the achievement of the SDG goal, it is imperative that the world redouble its efforts to ensure that the laudable goals of the SDGs are met. Thank you.